Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. Okay, so this is the hardest fight in the game thus far. For me, and I know I say that a lot, because each fight that I've said it has been the hardest fight, but this is so far the hardest fight, and it is easily double or triple as hard as any other fight that I've claimed to be as such since. This fight is ridiculous. It's stupidly hard. It's just stupid. It's frustrating as hell, this fight. Big part of it is because I am an engineer, and I'm a little gimpy, and I have a bad loadout again. Generally speaking, it's because of those two things. But it's just another instance where you have a bunch of marauders, you have a bunch of cannibals, and you have a brute that keeps you out of cover. And this is my first attempt. I almost one-shotted it, believe it or not. Then I died from a freaking fluke near the end, and had to do the whole thing over again, and it probably took me like, I don't know, a lot of deaths. At least 5, 6, maybe not that many, but at least 4 or 5 to actually get it done after that point. And my goodness was I raging when it was over. Because so many times you'll die from just, you're in a position where they start you out in just a super small area. Again, you have really very little room to maneuver beyond just moving backwards, which I wind up using in my actual victory. And just dying from grenades where they throw it behind you and your only place to go is forward, where they would instantly kill you anyway. Or instances where you want to move past cover, but you take cover instead because of the stupid all-in-one button. And these guys rip you to shreds. They rape you. They rape you with bullets. With pew-pew lasers, they rape you. And it sucks. You have to play this fight pretty much perfectly. You need to know exactly what to do, you need to know exactly where the enemies come from, and you need to know just where to go, where to flank to, what to avoid, and everything. I actually got on this first attempt very lucky. Very few grenades were thrown at me, the brute was taken down really easily, and they tend to target my party members rather than me. That makes this so much easier. In my final fight, you'll see that I had to do just everything possible to actually win this. Oh, and this is another example. This isn't the hard part. The hardest two parts are killing the brute, and then the second and much more difficult part, and here's a grenade, desperately trying to get away, and again, they had to, of course, place cover right behind you in this alcove. You know, so you can't just book away, you have to move away and you have to climb up the cover. They just had to do that. That was just awesome. Thank you, BioWare, for making this even more asinine. But anyway, see, again, there's a harvester back there. I don't realize that yet because he's not actually there yet. He will be there. In this fight, you have to move forward. You cannot just hunker in the back. You have to move forward. You have to push out, and you have to attack the harvester. That is extremely hard to do on Insanity. They give you almost no breaks whatsoever to move. To take cover, to move. In between firing, there's almost no opportunity to do so. And as soon as you kill them, you can already see they've already summoned people. They come back super quickly. This is another example of why it's so important to have weapons that do good burst. Because SMGs, I'm starting to think, honestly, SMGs suck. I'm starting to think they suck in Mass Effect 3. They were good in Mass Effect 2 because of, you know, all enemies had shields, or they had armor, or they had biotic barriers, or whatever, so SMGs served their purpose. They dealt with shields, they dealt with biotic barriers. Now, so many enemies have red bars that it doesn't really matter. You don't need to have that sort of loadout anymore. So I'm now starting to get under the opinion, unless there's a better one out there, that they just suck, or maybe the mods change them significantly, or they're better when they're upgraded, or whatever, but for me, for right now, they suck, and I won't be using them. I won't be using any fully automatic weapons unless they're an assault rifle at this point, because I need an ability to burst enemies down quickly for my class and for my playstyle. I don't know if this is for, you know, I'm not saying that this will be for everybody. It will absolutely vary based on your class. I'm talking purely from an Insanity playthrough perspective as an engineer and for me. So your mileage may vary. Get that out of the way. So now we're trying to slowly move forward because I think now realize that they're just going to summon infinitely. I have to move. I can't just stay back there. And yes, now we see that there's a harvester. So now I'm trying to move towards the harvester, but they just spawned on my left. So now I have to take cover again. And this is what you have to do. You have to flank up this left side. Because from the right, you can't actually attack the harvester. He's blocked by debris. So you have to actually find positioning to hit the harvester. And it's just, this fight is very annoying because it's very long, and there's just so many ways to die. If not from the enemies, from the brute right in the beginning, from just being getting caught out of cover because of a grenade and then just immediately dying when you try to flee cover, taking cover when you meant to move past cover, And of course this harvester, which will eventually be shooting rockets on me. So there's a grenade, I run past that. And again, I'm lucky he's attacking somebody else, but it's not meant to be. I wind up dying. I forget how. This was quite a while ago at this point. So, and there, just instantly killed. I was at low shields, just destroyed my shields, and then completely destroyed my health bar instantly. I had no way of knowing that he was about to shoot me. He had been targeting my party members. I had no way to know that rockets were coming because he doesn't do anything to indicate that, at least that I know of thus far. It's not as if his facing helps you because he's just a big, giant flying thing, and he's always just kind of generally looking at you. And that was by far my luckiest attempt. Every other attempt was way harder, way more difficulties, if just from random grenades and just being gunned down instantly by stuff, and the harvester always targeting me and never targeting my party members and just everything else. The brute being an absolute pain in the ass. Freaking hate brutes. And again, you know, I don't have a shotgun right now. I had a shotgun when I was on Polyvan, so that makes dealing with brutes way easier because you have an anti-armor weapon. But I'm using the Tempest and I'm using the Phaeston because that's what I happened to find on this planet, Tuchanka, and I wanted to try them out. So I don't think that's necessarily a good idea for Bioware because I think a lot of players will feel that way and will do that. They'll, you know, want to try out a weapon they just found, especially the Phaeston, a brand new weapon. Extremely lucky here, by the way, that I managed to get off that Metagel. But the Phaeston and the Tempest fulfill pretty much the same role. I guess the Tempest is a short-range weapon, but it doesn't do, you know, diddly against armor for the most part. But anyway, let's talk strategy. So, as you just saw, this is my victory. I actually won on this attempt. I found the best strategy to be to move back, get up on this alcove, and have them move to you, and then lure the brute to you and kill him when he comes past this point, because you have to be able to kill him without being attacked by the other guys. Because he's going to take you out of cover, you need to be able to kite away from him. So just do as much damage as you can to him at range, and then kite him back here. Again, this would have been much easier if I had a better loadout, but I have the Phaeston, I have the Tempest, and I have the Predator. So I have no really extremely strong anti-armor. The Predator works kind of okay, but I have no shotgun, I have no sniper rifle, so I can't snipe him from a distance to take out his armor. I can't use a shotgun when he's up close to take out his armor quickly. So that sucks for me, so don't make that mistake. Have a better loadout than I did, but I found the Phaeston and the Tempest on this planet, Tuchanka, and I wanted to try them out. So, what can you do? So he's gone. That was, fortunately, worked pretty well. Also, and as you noticed, I also moved both of my party members back here as well, because you don't want them to die when you're back here killing the brute. You want them to stay alive with you. They're very helpful in this fight. I know I said don't use your party members as a crutch, but this is the first attempt, and this fight is hard, and I needed all the help I can get. You'll notice that I used every single grenade that James had on the brute. I also used proximity mines and incinerator and drone and whatever turret to kill that brute as quickly as possible. Alright. That's the first part of the fight. That's the first hard thing to do, is to knock out the brute without dying. The much more difficult task is to flank left. There's a harvester in the back. You can't stay here. You need to actually move forward and to the left so that you can face the harvester. And there's a grenade. And I can't tell you how many times I've had to run away because of a grenade and then instantly gotten gunned down by these guys. That was lucky. So you need to move to the left. Hard to do on an engineer. The drone is not a good decoy anymore. You don't have freedom of movement when there's 3 targets and you cast a drone. If they do attack him, they'll kill him instantly. Otherwise, maybe one person will attack him and then the rest will go after you. So it doesn't work very well. It's very difficult for me to actually move left without dying. As soon as I expose myself from cover, these guys will gun me down in less than a second and a half. Even at full shields. So, beyond spamming Metagel to try to move past there, it's really tough. And I wanted to save Metagel for party members. I got lucky there. For a second, there were no enemies on screen at all, so Garrus automatically rezzed. And I didn't have to use Metagel on it. So that was very lucky for me. This would be much easier to do on a soldier because of Adrenaline Rush when the time dilation is good enough and the protection it gives you when you use it, when you spec it up high enough, would protect you. With Infiltrator's absolute freedom of movement, so that's no problem. The Adept can control at least 2 of the guys at once, where you only have to kill the Marauder, so then you can move pretty freely. The Vanguard can kill the Marauder from range and then charge on the last 2 guys and kill them pretty much instantly. And if not, you can have your party members finish them off with powers. You should be able to do that easily enough. And then the only class I think that will come close to being as difficult on this fight is the Sentinel, because I doubt the super shields will last very long on Insanity, even when it's bumped up significantly. I could be wrong, but I doubt it'll be that terribly helpful, but it would still give you the super shield, a buffed up shield, so you could flank left easier. you could survive easier. So I think it would still be easier than the Engineer. I think the Engineer very well might be the worst class you could play on this fight. But I could be wrong, I haven't played all the classes. But that's just supposition on my part. So now they're constantly spawning to my left. I know there's the Harvester, I have a shot on the Harvester, but I don't have an opportunity to actually shoot the Harvester, because when I'm out of cover, these guys are shooting me, and again, I'm lucky, the Harvester's not attacking me, he's attacking my party members. Eventually the Harvester will start attacking me, and he does so much damage, and it's so hard to tell when he's going to shoot. And now there's a grenade going after me, and I'm so afraid of dying that I just use a Metagel immediately to keep myself up. I'm trying to get into a position to target him, but all I have for long range is the Predator, which I believe is out of ammo, and now the Phaeton. And the Phaeton is not an anti-armor weapon, and the Harvester has a lot of armor. Fortunately, and it's now dawning on me, in a previous death, I realized there was a Reaper Black Star, or whatever they're called. The heavy weapon that I wasted in my other video. Well, there's one on this map, and it's on the far right. So now or very soon I'm going to be attempting to try to get over there without dying, because as you can see, this isn't happening. I can get off, maybe I could have gotten off a little bit more burst, but you're talking maybe 2 seconds of burst tops, more like a second and a half, and then he's going to start attacking me, and it's just so risky. He can kill me so quickly, this is going to take forever, that it's just not happening. So I'm going to go for the Black Star and hope that that will do significant damage to him, and fortunately it does. So again, to summarize the strategy, for me as an Engineer, I moved backwards, lured them to me, picked them off, and there's a grenade, and I'm just now realizing it, and oh, so close to dying there. So many things to worry about in this fight at once, so many things to kill you. So I moved back, I lured them to me, I took out the Brute that way. You need a loadout that gives you good burst, so you want to have a sniper rifle, a shotgun, a high-powered assault rifle like the Vindicator or the Chakram launcher, or maybe there's a heavy pistol out there that's better than what I have that you could use, that you could have found by now, but I don't have it yet. SMGs and pistols suck for the most part on this fight. The Scope Predator does do a fairly decent job of killing the cannibals, but it's not very good against the Marauder, though it is okay. The problem with the Predator is even when it's fully upgraded, it doesn't have enough ammo to use it as a long-term weapon for this fight. So again, I'm just trying to figure out how the hell am I going to do this? What am I going to do? How am I going to be able to do this without dying? Because I can't expose myself. I'll just die. You know, I mean, look at that. What am I going to do? So I eventually do remember, and you'll see that in just a second. But the Phaeton is not a terribly good weapon for this fight, at least not unless it's modded for armor piercing or something. Again, mods, I don't know all the mods, and I don't have all the mods, so that could make a big difference. But right now, it's just not working, so now I'm making the attempt. And I do see a column here, so this should give me some safety at least. That area actually leaves you very exposed, but then again, and this area isn't much better. I'm not being able to be attacked by the Harvester right now, but the guys on the left have open shots at me, and I can't target the Harvester either from this position, so what good is it really? Unless you have some really great armor piercing capabilities, it seems like the Black Star is the way to go. And I just lost James, but I don't know if I res him or not. And guys, I was really raging at this point. I wasn't almost raging, I was raging. This was... I only showed 2 lives, but I made a lot of attempts on this fight, and a lot of the deaths, most of the deaths, were extremely frustrating and extremely just, oh no, freaking grenade, what can you do? Just freaking Harvester shooting me at the wrong time, what can you do? Just so much agitation. So much agita. So much agita. So now I'm just trying to pick up the Black Star without dying. So I'm trying to use my drone as a distraction to just give me the opportunity to use it and charge it. And here we go. I thought I missed right there, but no, he's gone. Instantly gone. I would have liked to have seen the cool explosion, but I'm not taking any chances. I immediately ducked back into cover. What a freaking fight. Guys, if you have questions on this fight, feel free to ask me. It's hard. I mean, maybe I'm just terrible, but this was rough for me. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Sub, like, comment, and have a good one.